Test. So yeah, looks like I'm good. Okay. I'm Phil Wyman, and this is the Wild Theology podcast, where the world, the humans in it, and God are all wilder than we've been told.
That's your intro?
So, you'll get philosophy and theology and crazy stories that come from 30 years of pastoring.
Boring.
20 years of festival work.
Whatever.
And the mud and blood of wrestling with the living in spaces angels fear to tread.
Ooh, trying to sound interesting, are we?
Oh.
Yeah, you think you got something to say?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the problem, dimwit.
Look, I'm a lot smarter than you think.
Yeah, you tightened your shoes this morning.
Whatever. We're Phil Wyman, and this is Wild Theology, where you get to argue with your own ideas.
And lose.
That's the point. If you would like to support this podcast, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Phil Wyman. This episode is brought to you from Jim and Linda Hoag's house in Ramona, California. And in the background, you can hear the rain pounding against the windows and the roof of the house. So that's my background track for today. It's Valentine's Day, and people are thinking about love. Some people are probably thinking about love lost. And because the focus is upon loves that we currently have and less about things like overcoming love lost, I'm going to focus on that second topic, love lost and overcoming the sense of betrayal. And all I'm going to do is talk a little bit about my sonnet writing and read 9 sonnets that are sonnets on learning to love again after betrayal. This first Shakespearean sonnet is my 25th sonnet, and it's about rediscovering the ability to love again. And it's focused on the concept of the heart being ripped out, and unless you're able to put it back in, you'll end up living like a zombie. This is sonnet number 25. I held my heart in my own hand and stood with empty chest and thoughtless, empty head. I lost a war I never fought and would have rather finalized this life in death. But you, O love, are cruel and plunged your hand into my throbbing breast and ripped out heart and soul and love and hope and joy, and then left me to stare in hand at broken parts. Yet now I dare to place this heart into this blank compartment oversized by stress, for even pain declares divine renewal. This throbbing is my lifeblood's vital press, and I would rather hurt than live a slave, emotionless, a zombie from the grave. Here in sonnet number 26, heartache birthed from betrayal is likened to a mysterious song discovered beneath the structure of every tune we hear in life, and specifically is identified with the carillon bells of a church steeple. There's part of the sonnet that looks at the concept of being betrayed, that the one who is betrayed feels like they carry the scarlet A in shame, when in fact they are not the ones who have done that which is the betrayal. So this is sonnet number 26, the second sonnet on rediscovering the ability to love. The carillon, it sings out to my heart, an anthem or a dirge upon the hour. It calls me to the steps through its dark art, and sadness splashed with peace spills from the tower. For what I've lost is sung in every tune. When bells are rung, my story always told. When strings are strummed and singers sing along, I'll wear my story, and I'll wear it bold. I wear upon my breast this scarlet A, a signifier, nay, a holy bell, belonging not to me, but my betrayer. I'll ring it in the stories that I tell, and it will be my grace, my healing balm, which calls my heart at ringing of the alms. This third Shakespearean sonnet on rediscovering love after tragedy is described as a leaf driven from a tree in autumn's cold wind. And like the first sonnet in the series, The you who is being addressed in this poem is the personification of love itself. So in this sonnet, looking at the seasons of autumn and winter and finding hope, just like a leaf that falls to the ground and decays to become compost for the coming season. Sonnet number 27. Oh, how you make me quiver as the red and weakening leaf upon the autumn's trees. Once sapped of strength, I'll fall in browning beds of death prepared by gentle, chilling breeze, which from your fertile lips ensures my fall. My funeral flutters downward to the earth. My death is hastened by your frozen call, and waits impossibly for love's rebirth. Somehow the death-white blanket of the snows give hope despite the treachery of cold. Shall I survive this frigid death? Who knows what prophecy of winter has foretold? But my decay will feed the hardened soil. My soul will till the earth with joyous toil. In this fourth sonnet on rediscovering the ability to love, the contrasting of black and white within home decor is looked at as a judgmental black and white approach to life, but the betrayed heart that moves easily toward judgment because it's been hurt is viewed in the light of at least judgment is evidence of concern, and therefore possibly the fact that care still exists. This is sonnet number 28. I decorate my house, much like my heart, in black and white with just the barest tints, with sharp abstractions, parts of broken art, and disassociate from nuanced hints. These painful memories recalled by black against the white of faithfulness and vows, by stark contrast reveal my tortured lack of grace when faced with loss of home and house. But even here is where I find my hope. Though angers rise and sorrows fall, I know that judgments are a tortured, yearning grope. The harshness hides concern and care, and so I ponder on this colorless design to see the blue in black and rainbowed white. This fifth sonnet on rediscovering the ability to love carries mild variation on the classic Shakespearean sonnet. The rhyme scheme is a little bit different, and the volta or the turn doesn't happen until the final couplet. In this sonnet, the focus is the betraying heart, and the idea here is that an individual can use sorrow as a means of hiding its betraying intentions. The black to dark blue color blindness, which was hinted at in the previous sonnet, is used here and takes on a little greater life. So this is sonnet number 29. You said, no contest and no keeping score. You said you hurt and then you shared your pain. You were the victim, but I have the sores, and every injury now bears your name. I cannot tell the difference between the blacks and blues my color blindness hides. Betrayal, though your sorrow could be seen by only the well-trained discerning eyes. Both subtle and well hidden was your game. The sorrow hid intentions to betray. The deep blues and the blacks looked just the same, until you smiled the day you made your play. Though strangely, I am comforted by truth, that though betrayed by cunning, I stayed true. The sixth sonnet on rediscovering the ability to love is entitled Paida Bradachir Barth, which is Welsh for don't betray the bard. So it's kind of like saying, remember, if you want your tombstone to say something nice, not to have secrets hidden in the poetry on the stone, don't betray the bard who writes it. So here, the betrayal of love is likened to the betrayal by oppressive nations over those they conquer. And similarly, the proud survival of conquered peoples is a reminder that living true and honest is better than winning. This is sonnet number 30. Paida Bradachir Barth. Paida Bradachir Barth rolls off my tongue. This ancient heavenly language tells the tale. The battles won and battles lost were sung as bards retold the crown lost by betrayal. The years have passed, the bards still sing their songs of treachery and overbearing lords, where valleys and the mountains suffered long, still echoing their loss in flailing chords. Yet my heart finds its longing in the text of dragons fighting tooth and nail to death. From ancient prophecies I ask, what's next? Will love and land again have holy breath? If words be true, our enemies be jarred and both renewed. So don't betray the bard. This seventh sonnet on rediscovering the ability to love compares love to losing a game of tag. This is sonnet number 31. So I played tag with love, it always won, and it did slay my soul, and passion flailed. Love touched, did run wayward, I was undone, and I did scan the play to no avail. Is love a ghost who plays me like a fool, to tease and then most daringly retreat, with hooting laughs to host this brutal school, while openly boasting in my defeat? Well, I will not retreat, but to the death will chase ignoble once and noble next, impossible to catch until last breath, and I will not believe that I am hexed. For it is not a game I win today, but rather it is life and truth, the way. In this eighth Shakespearean sonnet on rediscovering love, the theme is that love is like a game to be played, and we lose, but here the game is played to death. And the idea is highlighted by a counterpoint of alliterated antonyms that occur throughout. Slay versus slain, give, get, hunters, hunted, potters, the pot, blesser, the blessed. And these show the focus that there's a need to be the giver rather than the taker in order to win at love. This is sonnet number 32. This tortured game of love is played to death, and one would slay, another slain by it. Some seek to crown their head with flowered wreath, and not by what they give, but what they get. Is love so cruel, or an elusive beast? Are we the hunters or the hunted prey? Are we the potters or the pot used least, like earthenware returned back to the clay? I meditated on this dangerous quest, considered but for sacrifice I'd not have learned the blesser is above the blessed. My heart shall live, even as my body rots. The victor's wreath is laid upon the tomb, and those who give their lives shall see it bloom. This ninth sonnet on rediscovering the ability to love comes to the resolution of the series with a simple recognition that going backwards is not the answer. The story of Lot's wife looking back at Sodom and Gomorrah is the imagery that's used, and both the future and the past are viewed as potential enemies to healing. So rather than looking to the fore or to the back, we need to live in the present. And so this is sonnet number 33. I learned there was no place to go called back. There was no home, no satisfying life. My aching bones in rest and labor crack. That salted road a portend of Lot's wife. And I cannot return, I cannot peek back down the salted road of my worst grief. Nor to the omened future do I seek. Behind and to the fore are both a thief. But I will not remain a hopeless lot, incestuous with drunkenness and lost. For even if the fruits of life do rot, now I have purchased wisdom with this cost. May you receive the gains of all my pain, for I will live for you, and yours remain. Thank you to my patrons who help make these missional travels and these podcasts possible. Without you, I couldn't do it. God bless you. If you'd like to support this project, you can do so here on Patreon for as little as $1 a release, and at the most, that's $4 a month.
Why on earth would anybody want to support us?
Well, I think we're pretty cool, and maybe some people believe in what we're doing.
Oh, come on, you believe that?
Yeah.
Don't you ever think you're just a little too weird for the average person?
Yeah, sometimes.